Okay, my name is Timothy Ali Ohana. I'm an executive director of a national NGO in Nigeria called Grassroots Researchers Association. We are supporting women and girls, especially survivors of conflict-related sexual and gender-based violence. We are in 8 states of Nigeria. We operate mostly in northeastern Nigeria, and we work with people living with disability. We work with women, we work with girls, we work with elderly people to support them within conflict. So we applied for training on digital security under WACSI-MOTT program, MOTT Foundation program, and then so we participated. I and my colleague got the training for 5 days. And so out of the training, we learned about digital security policy. We learned also about how to keep our organization secured. And so we started implementing and bringing changes into our organization. And what we achieved is we became resilient to continue being a safe and secured organization. And we also developed a digital security policy. And we also, the biggest change was that we become an epicenter of knowledge sharing in digital security, where we became conscious of digital security because it's becoming rampant. And also, with the knowledge we got, we step it down to 22 civil societies in northwestern Nigeria, including media houses. And also, as an offshoot of that program, also, I serve as a master trainer to train a women-led organization also after the knowledge we got. And they also interestingly stepped down those trainings to the people under them as well. Okay, so when we received the training, it is 2 GRS staffs that received the training, the head of communication and the head of the organization, which happened to be me and my colleague. And so after the training, we stepped it down to 3 cohorts. The first cohort is the staffs. We have 52 staff from 8 states in Nigeria that we stepped down that training to. That's the first cohort. The second cohort is we stepped down the training to 22 civil societies in Katsina state of northwestern Nigeria. And then the third cohort was the unintended, where we had 10 women-led organizations who were part of the program, and we introduced it, and we also stepped down that training to them. So these are the 3 cohorts of the training. So let me start with the first cohort. The first cohort, which staffs of GRA are 52, and they also took the knowledge and stepping it down to new staff that joined the organizations, and some to even their family members as they expand doing work with GRA. So for the second cohort, which is 22 civil societies, they also selected 33 civil societies and stepped down that training to 66 civil societies. And also among the 66 civil societies, we are fortunate to get media houses, Nigerian Union of Journalists, and so the media house, which is Rahama radio station in Katsina State, brought in 3 of those people we trained into the radio program to also broadcast that training in local language that is called Hausa, predominantly the local language speaking in the northern Nigeria. So within the program also, a lot of people feedback has been called, and that is on the second cohort. On the third cohort, which I earlier mentioned, which is 10 women-led organization, they also on their own took the training down to their staffs. And so they train their staff internally, and then also they work with project beneficiaries who have been benefiting from their program. And so they expanded that knowledge to them. at the same time. So in total, you could see that we have reached over 20,000 people among all the radio media houses that we had. It may interest you to know also that the NAN is the body that disseminates information for journalists. So that document, the training was published in this day's newspaper, in also many other medias, about 7, which also took up, and we saw a lot of reactions from that as well. Okay, as an organization, we took this training to start implementing what we learned for us to move from where we were before to a place that will be more impactful for us. And one of the things I can remember clearly was that before, you don't take the issue of sharing of data serious. But after the training, we restricted data sharing to only internally, and you cannot use your personal devices to actually work for the organization. Then number 2, initially we don't have digital policies that restrict people from the beginning. And now we have it and we're practicing it, and that's what we've been using. And also before, you will see that we don't mandate staff to use 2-factor authentication. But now, if you are working with GRA, we ensure that we check that you have 2-factor authentication. And also, number 4, we tried as much as possible to back up our data. Before we don't back it up, you will hear things like, oh, where is the project document that was it before last year? And we are even calling staff that have exited the organization. But now, immediately we exit from the organization, we have backed up data of everything. And we encouraged our staffs now to back up their data also, so that if there's any attack, we'll go back to the previous date and then use it. These are some of the changes we are currently implementing. And the most interesting and very, very important one for us was that we have embedded a culture of stepping down the digital security to people and localizing the digital security process, because we want to now see a village woman who is selling groundnut in Katsina State can be able to be secured using the local language approach. So I think these are some of the things that the WACSI training has so far brought. We want to thank MOTT Foundation for putting in these resources with the support of WACSI.